Hey, energy party people. Real quick, I'm checking something on my phone so it doesn't have alarms going off for the rest of the show. That's right. Okay, let's do a little smudging of the space, getting ready for some magic and fun and whatever happens today in the next hour. So a little Palo Santo would. Hey, Yvonne, I'm glad you're here. Theme song coming up soon. Okay. All right. So let's get this taken care of. And somebody, could you please, somebody cut the music? Spoiler, that somebody is me. Like I'm fooling anybody. Okay. So welcome. Hey, energy party people. Welcome to, that's right, another rousing episode of Magic Mondays. Yeah, so the lovely Yvonne is here. So let's get to it. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Wow, I've made a lot of these theme songs. And okay, why am I having trouble with this? I know this is good viewing, right? All right, we're getting there. Okay, without further ado, Yvonne is in the house. Check her out. Oh, this just in, Blanca's here. And Blanca, luckily I made a note to myself to make you a theme song because this is hot off the presses. Let's just get to it. Come on, we can do this. Blanca, oh Blanca, thank you for showing up today. Yay! Yeah, that's right, Blanca. That is your official theme song. So you're welcome. Okay. This just in. Erica and or Art and Erica. Artica. Art and Erica. Erica and Art. Thank you for joining us, doing your part. Yeah. Ow. I just hit my hand on my beautiful desk, whose name is Persephone for some reason. Anywho, okay, well, that's enough theme songs for the moment. Yeah, welcome to Magic Mondays. Yeah, and I was going to, which is apropos of nothing at this point, but when I was clearing the space or considering clearing the space today, I thought, ooh, what if we did a little of this too? Wow, that's loud. Okie dokie. Well, that was exciting. Okay, so welcome to Magic Mondays. I'm your host. That's right. Oh, it's so backwards. It's so weird. What a challenge. It's me. Wow. It's me, Colleen Can. Jeez. Redonk. Okay, so what do I have to say before we get to it and bring Coop on? Oh, Blanca's virtual hug. And Erica says, hello, energy party people. And Erica says she loves their song too. So yay. I aim to please. So what's going on this week? As I keep saying to Dave, like people are gonna like probably start getting really annoyed if not already, but that's right. I've uh yeah, it's all about my book. It's all about my book. Um yeah, and I'm really getting clearer on wrapping it up and God willing, uh or goddess willing, uh, I'll be able to hand it to an editor sometime around my birthday, which is early February, which is really not that far away. And I'm really on a mission to make that happen. Um, yeah. So, whew, it's been really exciting. Oh yeah. And Yvonne, I hope you don't mind me saying, but Yvonne and I've mentioned many times, I guess, that we're in the same writing group. That's how we met, and that's how we became friends. Um, Yeah, I had a realization. I think it's since the last time we talked. But yeah, so basically, I realized once I have a book, like a physical thing, hey Lee, okay, I'm not forgetting you, Lee. I'll play your theme song in just a second. I'm gonna try to finish a thought. Um, and yay, Lee made it. Yeah, I had this realization when I was texting with Yvonne the other day of like, once I have my book, I'm not so concerned about how it's going to be distributed, how it's going to be published, whatever. But whether I do it myself or a publishing company does it or whatever, as soon as I have those in my hand, like a physical book in my hand, I realized, like, yeah, I can donate them to different places, but I realized, and I'm gonna really try hard not to cry because I really don't want to right now. Not that that ever stops me, but I realized, like, holy shit, like I could donate some to women's prisons. Um, and that might not sound like a big deal to you, but um, not to sound weird, but that's like a dream come true for me. I've wanted to help prison populations for a long time and not knowing how. And honestly, I realized just the other day, uh-oh, Rusty's outside. Yeah, that Rusty, the one who viciously attacked me, but he's so handsome and I used to call him my boyfriend. Sorry, Rusty, not today. He's at our back door. So anyway, I realized I can like donate to prison, and my biggest fear, I used to say my biggest fear would be losing Dave, and I realized like um, I think losing Dave would be a cakewalk to me being in prison. If I was in prison, mm, like that's my biggest nightmare. Yeah. And so the idea of being able to donate my book to a women's prison, some women's prisons, I'd love for it to be a thing. So those that are ready can help themselves feel better, and find ways to deal with it and find the magic in it and get themselves to a better place before they get out, if they do ever get out. And whew, and because my book is basically the best I can the best I can word it is, I'm sharing with anybody who wants to read it, like how I've gotten myself out of prison, out of emotional prison and anxiety prison, and how life just keeps getting better and better and better, which is amazing because I'm getting older. We're all getting older and older and older. And as much as getting older, I mean, I'm a human. I have my feelings around getting older, but for the most part, fuck yeah, I'm on board, which is good since that's what we're all doing. Um, and I just know that I'm gonna keep doing energy work as long as I get older, and it's gonna continue to get more expansive and impactful and interesting. And man, I'm just, my book is all about inviting people to jump on board, whatever your style of magic is. Like I'm hoping my book will help spark that. And if it's not sparked already, and if it is already sparked, I hope I give some ideas how to for your life to be better. And that includes prisoners. And that just, yeah, like I said, it's a dream come true. Yeah. And then Yvonne, I'm like, wow, well, what if Yvonne's book will help women too? Both of our books are primarily aimed at women. Um, and so we're both like texting and crying because we realized like that our books could, like, what if, ooh, like, what if we, you know, like basically what came out of it is like, what if we form some kind of package that we can deliver to some women in prison that are right for it. I don't know how this will work yet, but it's so doable. And what if it was both of our books? And I'm thinking, of course, I know nothing about this and it'll require talking to the right people, and probably depending on the security level of the prison, but creating some kind of a pendulum that's, prison okay. I don't know what materials that would be. And, yeah, but to include our books of how we've both been working our way out of our emotional prisons. And my book includes, some ideas of how to do some energy work and to get started at least. and what a difference that could make for somebody. And then I brought it up to our writing group the other day, and then we realized all of us in the writing group could offer something for this project. So I'm just super fucking excited in other words. Yeah. So okay. So back to business. So let's see. We've got Lee. So give me a moment, Lee. Just gotta find it. Okay, Lee. Here you go. Holy moly, Lee is here. Hey, Lee. No, 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 no. It was going into the next one, and we will not have that. Shannon, let's see where yours is. Shannon, I know you're here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Shannon, Shannon, Shannon is here. Hey, Dr. Shannon. Hey, Dr. Shannon. Um, Speaking of, she said, aging ain't for sissies. No, it is not. Yeah, but I've mentioned this before and I'll mention it again. I believe myself to be in a 14-year cycle. My first magic age that identified was 42, and that turns out that's when I started doing energy work. That was my magic age for my 20s, and then I realized through a series of events, like I'm in a 14-year cycle, magic age cycle. I'm currently in one of those, and no joke, woo, it's been amazing to say the least. And then that would mean next stop would be 70, and I'm excited about 70. Weird, I know. And but I know some people in their 70s, some women in their 70s, and they're fucking badass, amazing people. So, and it just gives me extra excitement about getting older. Anyway, oh good. Lee loves her theme song. Yay. So, yeah. So, what else do I want to say for this week? Oh, well, I brought up, so let's see what Erica has to say. Do you have a chapter on muscle testing in your book? The ladies in prison may not have access to a pendulum. I'm sure that you probably have thought of this, but because you're the goat, greatest of all time, if you're not realizing what that means. Also, Cam, says that you can use his real name in the book. Oh, cool. Thanks, Diego. Thank you. That's great. Yeah, the less names I have to change, it's kind of lovely. But what I did just finish recently, which has been, to quote my least favorite orange character, huge. I just recently finished a chapter. Well, there's the 10,000. I'm sorry, the Uglies T-shirt is where I met Dave. And then the follow up is a very long chapter called My $10,000 Boyfriend. Um, and man, trying to whew, write about me and Dave getting together and everything that that entailed, which, well, if you know me, you know, spoiler, we were married to other people when we met and fell in love. Um, and so writing about that, well, and I'm writing about it, and I even write why I'm writing about that. I write about it because not to share one of my favorite stories, but yeah, like, I left out a lot of good details, trust me. But anyway, that's a lovely face. Yeah, but, I'm doing it because meeting Dave and falling in love with Dave was a huge game changer for me and was and is an integral part of my path. Yeah, so it's important to talk about it. Um, yeah, and yeah. And then what I also did, and part of the magic of writing a book, man, writing a book is amazing. And my writing coach is working on, that's right, how to write a book for like anybody, anywhere, or something like that, which would be amazing for our prison package. Um, yeah. Anyway, but I also wrote and I titled it, It's My Book and I Can Write What I Want to. Um, I got to write out, well, basically, I realized, like, so I don't mention anybody's names. So as I keep saying, to protect the former spouses of the sinners, me and Dave. But I got to write out a little message to both my ex and Dave's of what I wanted to say to them if I ever had a chance. And I know I could tell my ex this because we do have contact here and there. We're still friends on Facebook. I'm always happy to see that he's happy with his family. Anytime we have contact, he always says, "Well, tell Dave I said hi." And yeah, and we agree that we both have more of what we want now than we did when we were together, which is beautiful to me. But there are certain things I wanted to say to him that I got to say in my book. And what my point is, if I heard that he wrote a book or Dave's ex wrote a book, of course I would read it. Like, even if I knew that he was going to say horrible things about me, I'd still want to read it. And so, in case he's reading it or in case she's reading it, I included a message in there, and it was just so healing for me. Um, yeah, and I hope there's healing in it for either of them if they need it, if they read it. But yeah, just one more lovely byproduct of writing a book. Um, Man, yeah. And I'm proud to say that I'm no longer or not currently calling it my goddamn book or my fucking book or my eternal homework or whatever, because I can really see the light at the end of the tunnel. So, anywho, and I've been really trying to cool my jets, but I've been recording a bunch of the chapters, and as I've mentioned, there's like I would imagine by the time I'm done, there'll at least be 60 chapters. And I swear each one has magic in it. So yeah, hopefully that doesn't sound arrogant. I don't think I drip arrogance when I speak. But anyway, in case anybody thinks that, well, that's on you because I'm not being arrogant. I'm just acknowledging that, yeah, it's really magical. Okay. So that being said, yeah. So without further ado, let's get back to theme song land. Okay, Coop. Hope you're decent. Get ready. Ooh, ooh, we're catching up with Coop. We're catching up with Coop. Yeah. Hey, Coop.
Hey, everybody. So I'm saying that I told you that hearing my theme song makes me smile like my biggest smile of the week. And I think other people are realizing how great it is to hear their theme songs too.
Well, that's good. I hope it's not getting old as I keep worrying about, but I'm not going to worry about that. And if anybody gets bored with their theme song, well, feel free to go to work and complain that you heard your theme song too many times on Magic Mondays. Um, yeah. And if that's your biggest problem today, congratulations. Yeah, I want a theme song. But don't
Yeah,
worry
you don't
about
have
it.
them.
I've got plenty.
That's right. You
Call
you're a
me.
song.
Yeah, anyway, so it was lovely talking to you, Coop, yesterday for one of
Yeah.
our I I ended our call yesterday, and I don't think you'd mind because I loved your response so much. I said, "Gosh, Coop, you're just such a great girlfriend." Because talking to Coop, like almost 2 hours pass, and we're like, "Okay,
Yeah.
like we need to go to the bathroom or we need to get other things done today." But I just
Yeah.
I'll
I,
just
I would have
I'll
we would
just
have talked longer if I didn't go to the bathroom.
right? Somebody had to stop us, but or something like our bladders, but you're just so open and you allow yourself to be vulnerable and man, when you're ready, yeah, somebody or well, I guess there'll be more than one somebody's interested, but I'll just use the old term, you have to beat them off with a stick. But watch out for that because that's you don't want to be accused of lady abuse.
No.
Um, yeah, so
Well, thank you for your kind words. I think the same about you.
well, thank you. Um, Mutual Appreciation Club, uh, which is how Dave, when we first started emailing before the affair, um, he first, like his first email, he signed it, Love Dave, CADMAC co-president. And I wrote back like, CADMAC, what's that? And he said, Colleen and Dave Mutual Appreciation Club. Um, yeah, and I'm like, what's DAC Mac? And he's like, no, it's CADMAC because I would always put you first. It's like,
Oh.
wow. Yeah, for reals. That's how he is. Yeah. Oh, but back to Erica real quick, so I don't forget. Erica, Yeah, I don't know about that, about trying to teach muscle testing in a book. Bradley Nelson does that in his the emotion code. He doesn't talk about using a pendulum. I'm talking about using a pendulum because that's what I do most of the time. Um, yeah, and so maybe I'll just make a reference to. You can also read the emotion code if you want that detail. But what Bradley Nelson teaches isn't muscle testing between two people. He teaches muscle testing by yourself, and I cannot do that to save my life. Okay, maybe if it came down to somehow, something would open up for me and I'd be able to do it, but I am not a self-tester. Yeah, I know people who do it so easily. My mom, I don't know if she's still doing it, but she was a really good just using her fingers, like, you put 2 fingers together and, like, strong is yes, and if it goes weak, that's a no. But, like, I love Hitler. Yes, I hate Hitler. Hitler's my boyfriend. It's all the same. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah. And welcome to my brain. It's all the same. That's what went through my head immediately when I said that, which is one of my favorite songs ever. Bon Jovi's "Wanted Dead or Alive." Anywho, so that's a really long answer for Erica's question. Um, but that's why I said, like, I would hope that there could be something worked out, and maybe this would be, I don't know, but somehow that there would be some kind of materials that would be prison worthy. Maybe not my titanium little bullets
Yeah.
that have a very sharp end, or tip. I don't know. But part of my fantasy that I brought up with the women's group was like, oh, well, wouldn't it be cool if part of this package would be a beautiful journal and a really lovely pen? And then on the pen it says, "Do not use as a shiv." Kidding. Um, Yeah. So,
Well, and I like your idea, bundling it with your friend's children's book.
oh yeah. And
Yeah,
so, and then
just
Memory, who's part of our group, who just published her first book, which is a children's book, um, Hickory's New Home. And I told her, like, well, I guess Memory, there's no place for you. Sadly, your book in this. But then we realized, like, well, wouldn't it be amazing? And then we all burst into tears. Wouldn't it be amazing if it was part of the package? And for any of these women who have children, wouldn't that be lovely? That would be a gift that they could give to their children when they visit, or something they read together, or the possibilities are endless, and I'm excited. And I ended with, like, okay, if this is my fantasy, so I can say whatever I want in all of this. But I thought, oh, wouldn't it be neat if iPads are available? Well, that an iPad would be part of the package. Of course, that would include sponsors, and then we're talking about like having a nonprofit, etc.
well, maybe someday, maybe eventually.
Yeah, and it's just so many possibilities. And I've speaking of possibilities, since I think it was when I did the Landmark Forum, it's yet another cult that, I was in, got what I needed, then it got super controlly, and I said, "Smell you later." That's right, Shannon.
I never
Um,
heard of them.
yeah, Landmark Education is according to the Scientologists, it's a squirrel organization. I forget what squirrel means, but it's not a compliment for the Scientologists. And it was a Scientologist who created EST back in the 70s, I guess,
Oh,
where they'd like lock the doors, like you couldn't even go to the bathroom. But anyway, which has morphed into what's currently Landmark Education.
hmm.
Um, Anywho, I don't even know where I was going with that. Whatever. Fuck you, Scientology. It's so satisfying too. I share some stories, some little of our dabblings, our brief dabblings with Scientology back in the day, and Hubbard technology. And it's just so satisfying. I can't even tell you. Like, to occasionally give Scientology its props and then say, and the rest, you guys can go fuck yourselves. Um, ugh. Anywho, Shannon, she did 3 levels and was out. Ooh,
Oh,
I love your shirt, Shannon. Let's say good witch, bad witch, good bitch, bad bitch. How about that? Anyway, yeah. So 3 levels of the bridge. If that's what you're referring to, the bridge is fucking Scientology bullshit, whatever. And, like, for example, I believe Tom Cruise is at the top of the bridge, where there's, nowhere else to go until, oh, I don't know, maybe somebody discovers some bullshit. L. Ron Hubbard, whatever, that was
Oh,
never processed or written about. Oh, yeah, me too. Following the Danny Masterson
what
trial.
did he? What did he do? Did he was it
So you
something?
know who he is, right?
Oh yeah, I love that '70s show.
Oh my God, he was like the number one hot guy for as
Yeah,
far as I'm concerned, on
right.
that '70s show.
Yeah.
Um, oh, and just to be clear, she did 3 levels of the forum. Oh, okay. Yeah, the forum. It was all, yeah, it was get past your shit stuff, but then they want you to be part of their group forever. And that's where people lose me. Yeah. Anywho, but Danny Masterson, yeah, rape,
Oh,
like several counts of rape. And these are fellow Scientologists, I believe, that
oh,
are
yeah.
accusing him. And then, of course, Scientology being what it is, um, they go report it to, the ethics officer. There's a fucking officer for everything, but ugh, yeah, and basically it was turned around on them, like, well, clearly,
Well, I know they love their stars in Scientology. I know they like their celebrities.
yeah, and they're treated very differently. And so there was a lot of, trying to suppress these women and telling them that, if they go public, they're a oh God, the word just fell out of my head because luckily the shit isn't on the tip of my tongue anymore. Oh, a suppressive person? Yeah. Somebody goes
They're
against Scientology, you're a suppressive person. So I'm sure they would say that of course I'm a suppressive person, proudly. Yeah, fuck you, Scientology. Wow.
yeah, well, I think I told you. The fraternity house, some kind of fraternity house.
Oh, that's right.
Before we lived there, it was a Sacramento Valley mission of the Church of Scientology, and
Yeah,
yeah,
because I
we
remember
had
being in what was that room in the house, that fraternity house? Um,
with all the
that
stars and galaxies painted on it, our living
yeah.
room. Yeah, but upstairs there was. It was built as a fraternity house in the '50s, so there was and one of the bathrooms upstairs had a huge wooden sauna room.
Oh,
That
probably
they
for
would,
the purification rundown.
they would well no they would lock people in there. We know, and they also had we found all kinds of a filing cabinet full of basically all the dirt they had on the members. So if they tried to leave, they would blackmail them into staying.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, all
crazy
this.
shit. But the sauna, well, I'm sure it could be used for torture, but when Dave and I were dabbling, my teacher for nutrition response testing, Dr. Freddie Yulin, he was always talking about like this process called the purification rundown because the Scientologists have to make everything sound creepy, but anyway, or weird.
Yeah, they do.
And okay, Yvonne told me before today that she was gonna have to leave early, so she's saying goodbye.
Bye,
Bounce.
Yvonne. Bounce.
Yeah, I think she's doing something fun for her daughter's wedding that's coming up. But anyway, yeah, so basically he would talk about the purification rundown, and what it was you, among other things, there's exercise involved, there's some supplements, including niacin, so you get that flush.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you go to the org and get in their sauna for you work your way up to, I think it's like, so you're in like 4 hours a day in a sauna. Like, you can go
Whoa.
out to, like, eat and stuff, you don't eat in the sauna. Um, and you work your way up to that, and so Dave and I think we both did it, like, we'd drive into San Diego from Carlsbad, and we'd sit in the sauna, do the exercises. It was pretty great because we were, like, I liked that experience, and we got to a point where, every day we're in the sauna basically for 4 hours and sweating, 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 and the idea is Freddie always what piqued my interest was that, Freddie always called it an oil change for your cells. It's like, and it's also, it basically it's supposed to release old radiation, which I know sounds crazy, but I remember always hearing stories that people would be in the sauna and eventually they would see, like, especially women, because women have all different styles of bathing suits over the years.
Mhm.
And I'm so butt white that I would get sunburned all the time. And I got so sunburned on my shoulders once, there was huge blisters. And then they were peeled off, and then Freckle City to add to
Yeah.
my collection. Yeah. And so we did indeed over time, we saw Dave would say, like, oh shit, look at that. And there'd be like, maybe an X on my back of old radiation burns coming out. Um,
Really? Wow.
I shit you not. So it was really valuable. And what I've been told anyway is that it was developed for people with addiction issues, like drug and alcohol addiction issues.
That makes sense, I guess.
Maybe specifically drugs. I don't know. We did it for health because it sounded good and whatever. But then this is how they get you. Well, how they got us. They're like, hey, since you paid for this, which wasn't horribly expensive, since you paid for this, well, hey, if you for just a little bit more, you can start taking classes here. And we're like, okay, because we were just just a couple of idiot kids, like flying by the seat of our pants. Well, a couple
Oh,
of
yeah.
40-year-old, 45-year-old kids. And we did it and lost so much control. So, well, we don't need to go into all that. Anyway, so anything else you'd like to mention before we get into the healing?
No, other than I just got the phone with the phone off the video chat with my therapist.
Oh,
We
cool.
talked about our conversation yesterday and about values. What are my values? How that could lead me to establish some goals. I haven't actually had any like written down goals. Maybe since I was in college, I took a class. It was based on Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Okay.
I had an organizer, and I had a calendar, and I had long-term goals and medium goals and short-term goals. And I had a list of things to do, and I was on a book. I am not that person anymore. So I'm trying
You need it.
but I have a pad of paper and a pen, and I'm writing shit down as it occurs to me. So I actually have a list of. That's part of my problem is I want to do something and I lose focus. I literally forget. Like I've started to learn to touch type 5 times in the last 25 years. And I do it for like a week, and then one day I wake up, something happens, something goes off the schedule, and I forget. And I just get out of my rhythm, and I forget for 2 weeks. I say, oh, yes, right. I'm supposed to be learning how to type. I'll start tomorrow, and then I forget. So yeah, just if I write it down, it'll be a little bit more permanent. Now, it won't be so easy to forget.
Well, and you can always set an alarm. And that's one of the beautiful
Oh
things
yeah,
about
I guess
cell
so.
phones.
Set an event or something like that. Put it on my Google Calendar or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I have certain alarms set, even just for like reminding me to okay, water outside, water the plants inside. And I know those are like two little like whatever things, but it's just that much less I have to constantly keep track of in my brain and hope I remember. I'm always saying thank God for alarms. Yeah, or buzzers in the kitchen. Yeah. But anywho,
Oh yeah, I have a new patch for my hat. I'm very proud of it.
what does it say?
Rebel
Scum?
scum. Yeah.
When I think of you, Coop, I think rebel scum.
Well,
Oh,
it's a Star Wars thing.
oh, is it? Okay. Yeah. It's like I take that as a badass thing, not like literally like you're a rebel scum.
Yeah,
Like,
that's Han Solo's shit right there. That's the Millennium Falcon.
oh, okay.
Han Solo shit. That's the Imperials are. You rebel scum. We're gonna get you.
Oh, okay, okay. I think I remember that, maybe. Yeah. And when I hear the Millennial Falcon, I always think of Dave's best friend from, gosh, I think they're best friends from like high school or maybe junior high. I forget, but his name is Tom. And he basically he's a professional pyrotechnic
Oh,
person,
really?
um, whose motto is safety first, because his father, I believe, was like a fire chief or at least a fireman. And yeah, he blows stuff up for Hollywood,
Cool.
like
That's
Criminal Minds. He like worked on Criminal Minds for many, many years, and I just
wow. Awesome.
they're doing like a reboot or something. Yeah, but the story is that like on prom night, he didn't have a date to the prom because he was a dork, and he still is a dork, but now he's more of like like the best kind. Like if he was a nerd, he's like the best kind now, and he's cute and it's all good. He has a girlfriend even. Hey Heather. Yeah, and so oh, so the story is that on prom night, he didn't go to the prom, he didn't have a date, so he was in his parents' basement. I don't know if that was his room or just where he hung out, and he was building his Millennial Falcon model.
Ah.
Anywho, yeah. So that being said, are we ready for some healing?
We are.
Yay. Okay, well, let's start with oh, and I just wanted to thank you again. I've got a list. My plan is to try to do them today, I hope. But from our phone call yesterday, I was proud of us. We talked for like almost an hour and 45 minutes, and in that we actually did talk about the app, the energy work.
About 5 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, but there was nothing more to talk about. Like that's all we needed because you gave me a list of things you need from me. I have some homework. Yeah, so I'm
No pressure,
very
but
much
yeah.
thinking about it, and I'll get
That'd
that.
be on my list. So accountability and getting things done. There's no rush, obviously, but yeah, I'll I'll have it on my list. So I'll give you a little reminder in a few weeks if you know, because yeah, things come up, right? Then you forget to, yeah. So
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah, so I plan to crank out at least a lot of that homework today,
Cool.
and finish some more chapters. I can really see the light at the end of the tunnel. And if anybody's wondering, I am going to give my ex-husband, not my current one, he already is well aware of my book, but I will be giving that person a heads up that I'm writing a book. Yeah, I
And you
very
use his name, but
and care about him and his family, and yeah. So I just want him to know that it exists.
well, you're not going to say first name, last name, street address, phone number. You're not going to.
I'm not going to say his name ever, but I will be giving his street address as soon as I find it. Somebody gives it to me. Yeah, I know the city he lives in, but that's about it. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I very much, well, I never wanted to hurt anybody. That is never my intent to hurt anybody. Oh, sure, I have fantasies of it sometimes, speaking of that orange character from before. But I even have appreciation for that fucker because I think magic is in our triggers, and boy, is he a trigger. So, anywho, so let's go ahead and do a grounding real quick. Pick a chakra, any chakra. I've been going through my heart lately. So heart chakra supposedly is green. So if you're playing along, pick a chakra and close your eyes if you can, sit quietly. And we're going to picture our heart chakras, that green light emanating out throughout our bodies, throughout our house or office building or wherever we are, out through our city, state, country, globe, universe. And we're going to send some of that energy down into beautiful Gaia, Mother Earth, and do a little, I like to call a little energy howdy do with her and exchange some energy and bring that up. And we're going to open our crown chakras and allow in the beautiful cosmic energy to interact with beautiful Gaia energy. And then we're kind of the interface between heaven and earth. Okay, so that being said, let's check and see if there's any dead people. For anybody who's watching now or in the future, let's give them an exit strategy. So let's check in. So my name is Colleen. Yep, it's safe and appropriate to do some energy work for the group. Yep. Are there any dead people that are just ready to move to the light? No questions asked. Yep. Okay. Is Jesus our best escort? Yep. Okay. So give us a moment. This is probably the part where I should train you, Koop, to like start doing some elevator music. While we're waiting. Okay. Not that you necessarily want that job. Okay. So, well, that's all I ever think of. And I'm not going to go to where I first learned it. I've said it before, but here I go. Edith Prickly, Andrea Martin. The character's name was Edith Prickly on SCTV back in the day. Andrea Martin, singing. It was like the rhythm ace. Oh yeah, she was chopping vegetables in her like leopard print little pillbox hat and her obnoxious clothes. Soft and tan and young and lovely. And she's like stuffing a turkey, and then she pulls out the innards and she's like, didn't I see you around the corner last night? Just kidding. Because it looked like, well, you know what it looked like. Anyway, the neck. Okay, so that being said, did we successfully release the dead people that were ready? No questions asked? Yep. Okay, cool. All right. So we're gonna do some energy work for the group. Yes. Okay, this is safe and appropriate from the light. Yep. Okay. We're gonna start with something on my master menu. We are. All right. Okay, so this is in column A, yes. In an odd numbered row, no. In row 2. Okay, that's leading me to, we're going to look at some trapped negative emotional energy. So.
I imagine that negative emotions get trapped more often. I'm just guessing. Like people would be more likely to want to suppress or not experience their negative emotions, right? I imagine that positive emotions can get trapped too.
Yeah, I used to play with that more. But if it shows up as that, well, then you find your way to release it. But what we're really looking for the most part, is, yeah, the trapped negative stuff. That's like, you know, even though you're not aware of it, it's still you're experiencing your whole fucking life through. That's part of your window of perception. And as far as the positive emotions go, kind of how that tends to show up most often these days is in the form of an atrophied emotion. So positive emotional energy, that, you know, something happens in our lives and then that kind of access to that emotion kind of gets shut down. So that's a different way to look at it. I think I'm including it in the book. Well, I wrote a whole chapter about it, so I guess I'm including it in the book. Derp. Yeah. But yeah, and most trapped emotions can show up at any time in life, but so many show up from when we're kids, just little sponges. And so I think being a parent has to be the hardest job in the world. And no matter how great of a mother you were, you still have your own shit, because you're a human, because we're here to learn things. And yeah. And so kids, no matter what, no matter how great you are, your kids are going to soak up that shit. And if you're extra sensitive, yeah, I feel like I was extra absorbent. And my mom was really going through it. Yeah, as a kid, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I could babble about that endlessly. So let's put the kibosh on that. Erica, you just sent a message that's blank. Did somebody remove it? What happened? Please, I'm on the edge of my seat. Okay, but back to the group. So this negative emotion on my beautiful chart, this is in column A. Yes. In an odd numbered row? No. In row 2? 4? Okay. Okay, that's energy of unsupported. Feeling unsupported. Well, if you're anything like me and you're sensitive, and yeah, you probably are what I would refer to as a magic person. Us magic people have lifetimes of being persecuted for being let's just say misunderstood. And probably killed or drowned or burned alive or horribly tortured. Yeah. So that's one layer of unsupported. Anyway, so let's see. So this energy of unsupported is ready and to be released for the group. Yes. Yeah. So is there anything else we need to do or to understand for the group before we release this? Nope. So it's ready to be cleared. Yes. Do we need to replace it with anything specific? Nope. Okay. And if I do get a yes on something specific, well, I have my positive emotion chart too, which can be used for the atrophied emotions. Oh, Erica says, what the heck? I did not send that giant pic. My phone is
possessed.
It's not, it's worse than possessed. It's ooh-cessed. Yeah, anyway, well, go ahead and send that giant picture when you can, Erica. So, okay, so energy of unsupported. So if this is for you, here we go. So we're going to send all of that light, that energy, that vibration, that frequency of unsupported for everyone that applies to, whether you're watching now or in the future. We're sending all of that energy to the light. And wherever that energy was taking up space in our energy fields, we're going to fill that area up once occupied by unsupported. We're going to fill us up with energy of forgiveness, energy of supported, and a reminder the universe is 100% on our sides. And if it's happening to us, it's happening for us. So that's a lovely thing. If you want to adopt that, talk about feeling more and more supported and seeing more and more evidence of it. Anyway, let's also fill ourselves up with lots and lots of light and freedom and joy. Okay, so did we successfully clear this energy of unsupported for the group? Yes. Okay, so is there something else we can do for the group today? Yes, this is on my master menu. Yeah. Okay, this is in column A. Yeah. Okay, it's getting all timid. And if you choose to use a pendulum at some point, just know that there is a learning curve. And I'm going to include some of my most helpful unstickers, meaning one of the things I hear most about people trying to start using a pendulum is it's like, my pendulum doesn't work, or it just stopped, or I can't, it's just only giving me yeses or nos. So then people inevitably stop using it. And yeah, I talk about in my book, like, spoiler alert, this is like an epic adventure. And, like with any epic adventure, there's going to be some hardships and tests. And yeah, and you really have to hang in there. And so I'm including some of my D stickers. Okay, so that being said, where the fuck am I? So I have a lot to say. Yeah, still waiting on that giant pic. Just saying, Erica. Oh, and I guess we missed 11:11 as it's 11:47 now.
Yeah, it is.
Dave and I were watching the show. It's like the second season of The Vow, and it's on HBO Plus, and it's all about that Nexium thing and that where women were like branding themselves and becoming sex slaves, but they keep saying, no, it's women's empowerment. There's this whole hierarchy of sex slaves and anyway, and
just on that.
Yeah, and that fucker, whatever his name is, the dude that's at the heart of it, Vanguard, he goes by. He's in prison now, and apparently they're all turning on him. Ooh, they're all pleading guilty. Yeah. People, when they get and I think where he started was probably a really positive thing because people were getting really great benefits. I can say that about Scientology. There's certain things I would not trade for anything, and the rest they can go themselves. It's probably like that with this fucking Nexium bullshit. But then people need to they get all these followers and they need to control shit. And no, thank you. But it's fascinating TV. People are weird as fuck. Okay, so back to Erica in this giant picture. She says it's an emoji of her in her winter gear with a lot of hearts. Well, we're going to all need to let's put on our imagination glasses. Ooh, that's so cute, Erica. Does everyone see the hearts? Apparently, now I'm the hostess of a weird children's show. Okay, so that being said, we're going to do something else, which I don't think I figured out yet. And even if I did, who cares? Here we go. So there's something else to do for the group. Yeah. Okay, this is on my master menu. Yeah, this is in column A. No, this is in column B. Yeah, in an odd numbered row. No. Okay, in an even numbered row. Yeah. Can't even get it out of my voice. Okay, so this is in row 2. Man, that's a hesitant yes. Okay, traumatized energy fields chart is what's showing up. And And just a reminder, if you're interested in doing energy work and you're not currently doing energy work, it I promise you, it doesn't have to be complicated like this. This is my life. This is what I do all the time for me and my clients and friends and plants and animals and furniture and homes. So this is my world and I like the nitty gritty of it. But even if you just learned how to release trapped emotional energy, yeah, some people build careers on just that. So keep that in mind. It doesn't have to be all of this crazy. Um, yeah. So that being said, let's get to my chart for, I can do this. Traumatized energy fields. Seriously, I'm going to keep bragging about this. My charts are so beautiful, almost sterile, because they're not all marked up yet. They're so pretty. Yeah, and it's gonna be part of my book. I'll just keep saying it. Yeah, there'll be a print outable like workbook that includes my charts in color if you choose to. And having charts in color, like seriously, for almost 15 fucking years, I've been dealing with black and white. Like, but then I invented color. Yeah, I like to take credit for me learning I can make charts finally. I'm a big girl now. I can make my own charts on Word. Not the hardest thing to do. Yeah, and they're in color. Okay, so this traumatized energy field is in column A. No, column B. Yeah, in an odd numbered row. Yeah, in row 1. No, row 3. Uh-huh. Okay, willingness to be seen. So once again, back to the magic people who've been tortured for lifetimes. If you're anything like me, sure, I'm willing to be seen now, but it has taken, what's the amount? I forget. What's the amount? Fuck ton of work to be willing to be seen. Yeah, because like for what I do, not just as a person out at the grocery store, whatever, but being seen, like saying all this shit out loud, this would have been unheard of really prior to a couple of years ago. So, yeah. And I heard a comedian say this about just being a comedian of how it really takes like a stand up. It really takes probably like 15 years to get really solid in what you're doing. And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. I used to want to be a stand up comedian and but what I'm doing is where I feel like, well, I'm the expert in what I do because I'm the only one who does exactly what I do. Um, and yeah, and it's taken about 15 years to get to this point. And that's not to say that you can't have all kinds of magic from the get-go. But just know it's a process and it's an unfolding. It's not just I can use a pendulum. No, you got to practice it. And it's a relationship. What's that? Another chapter from my book? Creating a relationship with energy work? That's right. Yeah, but back to us. So, willingness to be seen. So I'm getting that within the group, whether watching now or in the future, we're looking at our energy fields are willing to be seen energy field. Um, yeah, and if you do this kind of work and it freaks you out because you have this old resonance, that comes with the territory. And if you don't want to figure it out yourself, get yourself a session with an energy healer of some sort. Of course, available. Um, energyhealingwithcolleen.com is my website, and you can see what sessions I offer and how much they are and all that. Yeah, but like if you're feeling a pull, even if it's a like pull towards your personal magic, don't let the fear stop you, I guess is all I can say. And I really hope my book helps. Anywho, so willingness to be seen. So let's see what we need to do with this traumatized energy field, our willingness to be seen energy field. So there's something, and Miss Winter Gear with hearts coming out of it says, that's so true. Everything takes practice. Oh, and she's a brilliant musician. They are brilliant musicians, her and her husband, Art. Yeah, okay. So we need to clean up this, our traumatized energy, willingness to be seen energy field. Yes, okay. So that's right. How are we going to do that? How would you do that? That's right. You go to your master menu, which is kind of the hub of all the things that you know how to do. It's like you're presenting when it's it's a place you go to where you've listed all your stuff um, that you can do. So all the options that are available to your energy for cleaning up whatever is showing up. Yeah, and I'm thinking, Coop, like for the app, where I'm going to try to keep it simple. But that might be something like on the app's master menu. It'll probably be like, well, maybe you need to meditate or maybe pray if that's your thing. There's all kinds of things you could put on your master menu. Do you know Reiki? Well, then put Reiki on your master menu. Um, yeah, and yeah, let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, well, it's not like it's a one size. You're going to give them the starter kit, but they're going to fill in their own.
Yeah,
as these come up, they're going to have their own processing, develop their own technologies or terms, and build on base. Yeah,
that's the dream. I want people to read my book and like try out what I suggest, and then man, if it happens or you feel inspired, man, I really hope people just make it their own. Like, take the charts, rip them apart, do whatever you want. It's like once it's in your hands, it's yours. Yeah. And so I my book is all about, I'm not trying to create little me's. I'm trying to help people recognize that there is a different way to do things. There's a different way to look at things. And spoiler, you're probably magic. You have lots of abilities that you're maybe not even aware of. Um, and you have more power than you think. And for some people, like I made a meme or a post on Facebook recently. It's like sometimes we don't know the way through until somebody shows us the door. Like when I learned about trapped emotions, which sounds like almost nothing now because it's so obvious, it's not obvious until I read that book, and my mind like whoa, and then I could not wait to use my new toy of learning how to or releasing trapped emotions. And what's that? There's a chapter about the first big one we experienced. Yeah, Dave had right-sided hip pain for 7 straight years, and the only thing that took care of it was clearing up some emotional energy. Yeah, chiropractic and all the other stuff he was doing was great, but it didn't get to the absolute heart of it until we cleared that emotional energy. Anyway, blah 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 blah. Oh, what's that, Colleen? You're writing a book? That's right. So Blanca, I'm exposing you, Blanca. She recently realized, beyond fear, for me, it's a sense of shame to be seen. So why? Yeah, shame. Ooh, that's a good one. Oh, what's that? Another chapter called The Shame Dump? Yeah. And I don't use your name, Coop, but I mention you in that book. In that chapter.
Oh, cool.
Well, I mentioned you in a few chapters, just not by name. I'd be happy to mention you by name, but not necessary. Yeah. So yeah, Blanca, that's something to look into because from my perspective, Blanca, you have nothing to be ashamed about. But if you have a resonance of it, then that's something to pursue. Because for each of us, it's an inside job. Whatever comes up for each of us, well, I'm trying to help you find a way to, when something really gets your attention, for you to clear, here's an avenue and to provide an exit strategy for that old energy. So you just keep on cleaning off that windshield of perception and life gets better and better and better. Just saying. And when you feel shitty, because we all feel shitty at times, it's so fucking powerful and badass to be able to sit down and start asking about it energetically and pick apart like the old energy, clean up the old energy that's trying to get our attention through a trigger. Okay, so let's figure out what to do for this energy of traumatized energy field of willingness to be seen. Okay, so there's something energetic we can do to clean this up for the group. watching now or in the future? Yes. This is in column A on my master menu. Yes. This is in an odd numbered row. I'm sorry, this is in column A. Yes. In an odd numbered row? No. In an even numbered row? Yes. Okay. This is in row 2. No. 4. 6. Yeah. Very hesitant. Looks like vulnerability to mend in our energy fields. So we're going to use, that's right, my system called Magic Doorways that started coming out immediately after I heard about George Floyd being murdered. Yeah, so this Magic Doorway is in column A. No, column B. Column C. Yes. In an odd numbered row. Yes. Okay. In row 1. Yes. Forgiveness and unwinding of cosmic martyrdom. Yeah, martyrdom. Ugh. Anyway, so we're going to send our energy, our vulnerabilities in our energy field through this magic doorway called forgiveness and unwinding of cosmic martyrdom. Yep. This is safe and appropriate from the light. Yep. Are we ready? Yep. Okay. So if you're playing, feel free to walk through that magic doorway and allow the magic to happen. Let's do a new song. I got love, blood sugar, baby. I need your love, honey. No, I'm not being funny. A silly song I made up recently and can be heard singing it around the house, along with things like, ooh, ooh, we're catching up with you, or Yvonne. I'll stop. Okay, so did we successfully mend that vulnerability in our energy fields? Yes. Okay, is there anything else we need to do in order to clean up this traumatized willingness to be seen energy field? Yes. Okay, let's squeeze in one more thing because it's already been an hour. And what I was going to say earlier when I brought up the vow, I guess it's like an hour or probably a little less than an hour show. And it seemed like it lasted forever. We were like halfway through and I'm constantly dazzled by how fast these Magic Mondays happen. I don't know how it is for anybody listening, but for me doing it, it's like an hour has passed already. Holy shit. Yeah, time is a mysterious creature. Okay, so we're going to do one more thing on my master menu. Yes, this is in column A. No, in column B. Yeah, in an odd numbered row. Yeah. Okay, in row 1. No, in row 3. Yes. Okay, that takes us to shared chakras. And I think I'm going to include this in the book because man, oh man, have I gotten relief when I was in a bad place from hanging out with some funky people and took it in. And that's what resonated was that I had a shared chakra with this person. And I went from being angry and bitter like this bitch, who I will not mention. Yeah, and as soon as we separated whatever chakra that was, that super entangled energy, I felt fine again. Yeah, and sometimes it really is that fast. I'm not kidding. So let's see. So the group here today, watching now or in the future, this shared chakra is a shared first chakra, second. Okay, second chakra. So that's, a few inches below your belly button, say. Your sacral chakra, that's about, I'm sure about a lot of things, but in my mind, it's always about creativity and sexuality and that's the general area where we have babies. Well, those of us who signed up for that in this lifetime, I am not one of them. Anyway, so this is for the group. So this shared chakra, do we need to know who it's shared with or what it's shared with? No, because, well, it's a group thing. So if this is a personal session, we'd be figuring out some details about this. Yeah, so it's safe and appropriate to separate our second chakras from whatever or whoever's energy it's entangled with. Yes, this is safe and appropriate from the light for everyone watching now and in the future. Yep. Okay, give me a moment. Basically, when I do this, I ultimately, there's more to it than what I'm saying, but yeah, I'm seeing everybody involved getting their second chakra energy back. Like it's reclaiming a part of you rather than having it mixed up with somebody else's energy. And then it makes it really hard to know whose is whose. Okay, so do we successfully separate our second chakras from whoever or whatever? Yep. Okay, so is that an okay place to stop? Yes. Okay, thank you for watching, whether it's live or in the future. Yeah, and I'll just throw it out there. If somebody is interested, probably sometime in the month of November, well, I guess, oh, no, there's one more show in October because I believe next Monday is Halloween.
Yes.
Ooh, that sounds like an opportunity to wear a wig and maybe some fake teeth, at least for a few moments.
I'll have to get a costume together somehow.
Challenge accepted. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for showing up. And I love you, Koop. You're so awesome. Thank you for being on the show now. And now we're making an app.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, yeah. So thank you guys. And so let me know, send me a private message if you're interested in being on the show, like being on camera and getting a little like a little mini session for freezies. Anyway, okay, guys. So Artica says, thank you both. Lots of hearts from Blanca. I'm excited that you guys are here, and I'm going to stop talking now. So bye.